Good morning, peeps, and Happy New Year. It is the first day of 2019, and I am stuck in the house once again working on videos because it's rainy and dreary and nasty outside. But Greg has been out all week. He's got a late season tag. Ted also has a late season tag. Ted Miller has still been hunting, and Zach and the boys are getting ready to shove off for Alabama here in the next few days. But on today's video, we're gonna head back down to Kansas and join Josh Tatum. He's been hunting with a decoy now for several years. Actually, all those guys have for many years and had tremendous success using them. And on this video, we're gonna show you two awesome hunts that he had this past fall using a decoy. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. This footage is crazy. But before we get to the video, I want to update you guys on a big buck that I've been hunting for the last couple years. A lot of you asked about it throughout the fall. It's the big 9-pointer that I was chasing last year. Actually, Brody and I filmed the thing and almost got a shot at him in mid-November 2017. I don't know if a lot of you guys remember that video or not, but I'll show a quick clip of it right here. This buck is huge, and he was just as big this year, and I was still hunting him in the same area. Did not get a crack at him. But a gentleman by the name of, let me make sure I get his name right here. His name is Stephen Warner, took this buck. And my friend Troy was actually out there hunting. He'd been hunting the same deer in the same area for many years and happened to help this guy drag the buck out. And they filmed a quick video with it.
This is one huge deer, guys.
Congratulations, bud. That is one stud of
He
a
is
public
a
land.
nice public deer.
Oh my gosh, public land buck.
Didn't even know about this deer till today.
Yep. We've had people that have been hunting that deer for years.
Yeah.
For years, man.
This guy behind his camera, he says he's known it for 3 years.
Several encounters too.
Yeah.
Finally made the wrong move tonight. He did.
Yes, he did, man.
Made a perfect shot on him.
How do you keep it together when a deer that size comes through to make a shot like that?
Oh, I told your friend right there. I said when he came in 10 yards before I pulled back, I had to turn my head. Took a deep breath, calmed my nerves down, pulled back. He turned broadside, and I let him have it.
Awesome, man.
He was incredible watching come to me. I couldn't even believe it.
Buck's got to be 6-7 years old. Got pictures of him going clear back into 2014, I believe. And the cool thing is that Steven took this buck only a couple hundred yards away from the open gate stand where Brody and I encountered him last year. Just goes to show you that giant old bucks can live on heavily pressured public land. That particular area gets tons of pressure every year. There was at least 8, 9, 10 people hunting this buck for the last 2 or 3 years. And he still managed to survive until the middle part of the rut when Steven got a shot at him. Made a great shot. Deer only went 100 yards or so, piled up, and Troy helped him drag the buck out of the woods. So pretty happy for him. That's a great old buck on public land anywhere. And I just wanted to kind of tie a bow around that because a lot of you have been asking about it this fall. So with that said, let's get to these decoy hunts from Kansas. Hope you enjoy it.
Well, that's a good start to the morning. Had that nice young deer come right into the decoy. This is an old setup I have in the south draw. I don't hunt it that often, but I thought I'd try it out this morning. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in Kansas. The weather's awesome right now, and we're right in the middle of the rut. So I'm excited to set in this draw and set tight and see if I can't make something happen here, because it should be good this morning. Just had a shooter go by with a doe. It went about 80 yards, and they were going to go around me, so I tried to snort wheeze him, but I was hoping maybe he was close enough that he'd come over to the decoy. So I know he's in here. Hopefully that doe stays in here and comes back, because that's the one I'm looking for right there. That's the one I had that close encounter with at the end of October in the north draw. So well, it's about 11:30, and man, what a morning. A lot of action there, a lot of deer moving, even late. I think the last deer I saw moving was around 10:45, so fun morning watching all that deer movement. So I tell you what, I got excited when I saw that doe came right by me. You could tell she's breathing hard, like she's being run around. I was a little disappointed when there wasn't anything behind her. I mean, that would have been ideal. I'd really like to set in here all day, but my cameras are low. I wasn't really planning. I had plans of going somewhere else this evening, but you know, this place is good right now down this bottom. It really seems like a place they're cruising back and forth, so a lot of deer movement. The one thing is I know when I put this stand here, you know, 5 years ago, I looked at a place right there where they crossed, and a couple of the deer crossed there too. So before I get out, I might go over there and kind of look around. If it's something I can just throw a tree, move this stand over, I might move that stand over there and either come back this evening or hunt it in the next couple of days. But either way, this was a really good morning hunt. So get packed up, get out of here, get everything charged, get something to eat, and figure out where I'm gonna go tonight. Alright, we just got set up and it's starting to break light. We're on our 80, what we call the 80 pasture, in a blind. We got a decoy out in front of us. This is basically the place we want to be this time of year. It's 80-acre pasture with a small strip of timber in the middle, and there's kind of 2 thickets on each end. And we have just had a lot of action this time of year on this property, mainly in a blind right here. The trees are so small right now that you just can't get away with setting in a tree, so we usually set in a blind in between the 2 thickets and use a decoy. I know there's a few mature bucks on this property that my brother's been getting pictures of, so hopefully one of those mature bucks can come in and my wife can get a shot. But like I've talked about before, I really like using a decoy in pastures this time of year, even if they're tending a doe. That's the plan. It's worked in the past, so hopefully we see some good movement this morning. Man, that is disappointing right there. We had the right setup, right scenario. We were in the right place at the right time on the right morning. Man, had him come up over the hill without a decoy or doe. I knew we were going to be in the game. He comes down here, big 9-pointer, and he was at 30 yards, and we were just setting up for the shot. I mean, just setting up. We were seconds away from getting that shot off. I know he spooked a little bit, but he didn't smell us. He didn't really even see us, so his main concern is finding a doe. So I'm really hoping that he can find a doe and bring her back by is what I'm hoping. Because I think if he finds a doe and brings her back by, and he brings her back by close, we get another chance at him here. So we're gonna hang in here, but that was awful close. So he's right behind her. I see it. See, he doesn't like him. Right there, see how he's coming back?
Yeah,
He doesn't like him.
that's funny.
Okay, maybe he'll chase him off. If he chases him off close down, he might come back. Man.
So pretty.
I doubt it though. Alright, well, it's the evening hunt here, and we just got set up in the blind. So just the recap this morning's hunt. We had a mature buck that we're real familiar with. My brother had an encounter with him last year in the same blind using a decoy as well. So basically, we saw him come off the hillside. Mir saw him come off the hillside. He worked his way down into this thicket and came around. When he came around, he's probably within 80 to 90 yards. And I got some cool film of him like Fleming and stuff out there. Basically, he had his nose to the ground. He's scent checking, trying to find a doe that's in heat. So one of my things that I do is when I see a buck this time of year, I'm gonna go ahead and try to call to him, especially having a decoy. So I snort wheezed at him. He looked up, looked our way, didn't see the decoy apparently, and he should have been able to see it, but for some reason he didn't. There's a little bit of terrain difference there, which I don't know if he just couldn't see it because of that. But just a little while after, I snort wheezed again, looked back up, looked this way, didn't see the decoy again, and then as he looked around to go back down, he caught that decoy. And as soon as he caught that decoy, he locked in, came in, and the angle that he was coming in was behind the decoy going across us, and I had to let him get past the decoy. So Mir had a good broadside shot. We're about to stop him. He stopped on his own. And hey bud, hold on. We got our little man with us too. So as I was about to stop him here at 30 yards, he stopped on his own, looked up to us. I told Mir 30 yards. She was about to take a shot, and then he busted out of here. When I watched the film again, I could tell he caught something he didn't like on the ground. I started thinking when I took that decoy out that morning, or yet this morning, I made the mistake of going past and to where I wanted to put him. So when I looked back this morning while I was putting out that decoy, I found myself too far to the right. So I had to bring that decoy back in. While in doing so, I left a scent trail, and that's exactly where he stopped. And probably as he caught that scent trail, he looked up at this blind and caught maybe some movement. Boom, he's out of there. So he ended up taking a doe shortly after, right back our way on top of the hill, and went over the hill, which is normally what they'll do on this property. So I got some film this morning of like a younger buck going up to that doe and buck as they're going on the hill. And what happens is they get inside that, what I like to call that bubble. And if you can get inside that bubble with that doe, he'll break off of her to chase that buck off. It's just what they naturally do. And so it's no different with a decoy. But I have to have the doe move into the set as well. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But we still got pretty high hopes. This should be a good night.
Well, Josh and Miriam didn't end up seeing that buck again, but it was a pretty cool hunt. As you could see, those decoys work awesome during the rut. Definitely be a wise choice if you don't have one to invest in one for the 2019 season. But I'm still in here in the house getting cabin fever. Over here in my room, you can see what our scent control regimen is right there. Those are all my hunting clothes on the floor, yes. And there's the old 870 there in the corner next to my box fan. And I got a bunch of turkey beards and stuff over here too. What do you guys do with your turkey beards and your spurs? Because I just end up putting them in sock drawers, and they just kind of end up all over the place throughout the house. So if anybody's got any good ideas for displaying those things, put them in the comments down below. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we should have another one to you here in the next couple days. See you on the next one.